What's good, Polly? Gang, 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 gang. It's your boy, KeeSeeY. Today I'm reacting to when Alice Cooper, Liza Minelli, Lindy Lovelace, and Chubby Checker met Elvis Presley. It's my first time about to react to this video. Never reacted to this video before. One of you guys had requested me react to this video. And I'm excited to hear other stories about Elvis Presley. So like first person accounts of people interacting with him, the stories differ. I hear like a lot of different stories about Elvis. Mostly all have been good. I don't think I've heard anything really bad about Elvis. I think I've only watched one thing that it wasn't bad, but it was more so just like how some people had misconstrued Elvis's words and some of the things that he had said. But overall, most of the things have been good. And from the group of names that I'm looking at right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Alice Cooper is the only one that kind of sounds like I may have seen that name before. But I don't even know who that is. I don't know who any of these people really are. They must be famous people if they've met Elvis Presley. So I'm assuming they must have been actors, musicians, singers, artists, or even something else. They could be maybe people that are like that interview people or something like that. They must be celebrities is what I'm assuming. But anyway, y'all, let's just jump into the video. Alright, I'm gonna read this. So it says during the 1970s when superstars visited Las Vegas, they always made a point of attending the best show in town, Elvis Presley at the Hilton Hotel. And after each gig, Elvis would invite a selection of celebrities from all fields to visit him in his penthouse suite, which sometimes made for fascinating Celtic meetings. I ain't never seen that word before. I thought it said electric, but it has a C in front of that. A Celtic or a Celtic. I ain't never seen that. That means it's exciting. I'm pretty sure that's what that word means. That's what that word means. Fascinatingly. And that's a different... I feel like whoever spelled this, they just spelled it to make the words like sound better than what it was. Like it was just exciting, like fascinating and exciting meetings. There we go. That's probably a better way to say it. But a Celtic or a Celtic. Like I said, I ain't never heard that. But I'm done talking about that word. Let's just keep moving. Alright, so this is basically saying they all found their way to visit Elvis. Cooper, Minelli, and Lovelace were at the heights of their careers, but they were awed at the thought of meeting Elvis, and no one knew what to expect when they arrived at his presidential suite. Hold on. Does that man got snakes around his neck? He must have been like a rock star. He gives me like rock star type of vibes. He must have been like a popular rock star back in the day. Or he could have been a musician. Not a musician, a magician. There we go. Could have been a magician. Or even a musician, Because a lot of magicians, they do play with animals. They do use animals as their props. And some of them have animals as pets. And I could definitely see a lot of them using snakes. Like I don't think you will ever see me with a snake around my neck. I ain't scared of them, but I ain't gonna put one around my neck. Don't do that. Okay, so Presley was in glorious form during that time and was riding high in the charts with his #1 hit, Burning Love. I reacted to that song. That was a great song. Sometimes his post-gig gatherings would feature all-night gospel singing. On other occasions, he might just chat. Then there were the times he decided to entertain his guests.
I got a call. It was about 1971 or 72. and Elvis wants to meet you.
I got a thing that says Elvis wants to meet you. I got to the Hilton Hotel, elevator opened up, and it was me, Liza Minelli, Chubby Checker, and Linda Lovelace.
Wow. What, you'd come together, or you just happened to be in that lift?
No, he invited those 4 people
Really?
that night. So we went up, and they searched us for guns, which was kind of silly because there were guns everywhere once you got in. When he came in the room, he was Elvis. He was Elvis. He was the guy. He goes, "Hey man, you're the cat with a snake, ain't you?" He said, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's cool, man. I wish I would have thought of that. That's cool, man." He said, "Hey, I want to show you something." We go in the kitchen, he opens the drawer, takes out a loaded 38, snub-nosed 38, puts it in my hand. He says, "I'm gonna show you how to take this gun out of somebody's hand." A little devil's ear on my shoulder says, "Shoot him."
What? I believe he would have done it too. But oh man, I was about to say something, but that comment that he just said kind of made me forget what I was gonna say. If I remember, I'll go back and rewind it and say what I was gonna say. What?
The little angel over here says, "Don't kill him, just wound him."
I kept thinking, what happens when the Memphis Mafia walks in and I'm standing there with a loaded 38 on Elvis Presley? One of us is going to get shot.
Hey, that's a good point. If you're standing there and look like you're pointing a gun, but Elvis legit just gave you the gun, and then like his security or something walks in, then yeah, you're definitely getting shot. No matter who you are, like he's probably the most popular person in that room at that moment. So like, yeah, you're over with. If he's inviting you to come to his suite, then yeah, he's the top dog at that point. But yeah, I think I was going to say was like Elvis had a karate instructor or like a sensei. And I remember seeing him in those videos that I reacted to. It was like when he bought 200 Cadillacs, that mini documentary series. They had showed his sensei and stuff like that. So Elvis pretty much trying to show him how to disarm someone. It's probably what he learned from his sensei is what I'm assuming. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say before.
Decide what to do. I was on the floor, and he's had his boot in my throat. I'm like, that's good, Elvis. That's good.
I'm still reeling over the fact that you were there with Liza Minelli.
Oh, yeah.
He must have thought you were sisters.
Well, of course, only 3 of us came down on the elevator that night. Now, I don't know what he did with Chubby Checker all night.
The words Elvis and karate to you, Liza.
Yes.
Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
Oh, it does? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh, tell all.
Well, he liked to do it. He loved karate.
Yes.
And his moves on stage later on came from karate. And he was just really into it. I met him in Las Vegas. And we went over to this spectacular, I mean, I've never seen a space like that. His suite, it was just incredible. Incredible. And we're kind of sitting there. I'm next to Alice Cooper. Wow. We're sitting there.
What a random group of people.
It was Chubby Checkers. Alice Cooper. Some porn star. I can't remember
Some porn
which one.
star.
Some really, right at the moment.
A good one.
It was Linda Lovelace,
evidently.
was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's it.
You were there, weren't you?
And
She's told me the story.
Was there a deadpan British comedian as well?
oh, yeah. But we're all kind of sitting there, and he's disappeared, so we're kind of trying to chat. And suddenly, the door flies open, and I hear, hi-ya! And he's in the room in full, dress. Hi-ya! 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 And then, it was like the Peter Sellers movie where the guy comes out of the closet to fight him, Yeah. And suddenly, some guy, I guess his teacher, you heard, and he came from over here. And all of us are going, gee, that's great. Wow. You do this every night? What do you say? It was just, I couldn't believe it.
I love your life.
Oh, my God. I couldn't believe
I gotta
it.
say, if I was Elvis Presley, I think that would be my chat-up strategy. Hi, my name's Elvis. I don't think I'd bother with the kung fu bit or learning martial arts. I'm Elvis. Yeah, do come in.
End off.
Forget it.
Hey, what an entrance. Elvis always makes his entrance. Hey, that was his entrance right there. And he also had Sensei, his karate instructor there with him. It's crazy how I just talked about him, and then she had mentioned that he was in the video as well. That he was there at that moment when they were there. So that's interesting. But yeah, I don't know who Chubby Checker is. I think this is Liza. I think that was Alice before, or this was either Liza or Linda. I forgot. What's his name?
He's a nice man.
Yeah,
He was,
so am
you
I.
know,
I'll tell you what, he was an amazing character, very funny guy, but he was Elvis. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I figured that was pretty much the end of the video. But yeah, I gotta say, I enjoyed that story. It was fascinating. It was a lot Elvis. I could definitely see Elvis doing that. Because they say he liked to entertain his guests. And like the writing before that, and that was one of his ways, I assume, of like entertaining his guests. Maybe showing them a different side of him that maybe the world didn't know about. I know about it because, you know, after he passed, this stuff comes out after, you know, someone passes, they tell different details about his life, but probably people, his fans around that time, maybe didn't know about his karate, how he really enjoyed doing karate and stuff like that. But apparently they said I was like a weird group of people, but from the looks of it, Alice and Liza, they do look like they could be somewhat related because like they both had like the black stuff on, even up to date versions of them. I'm pretty sure those videos came out at least a decade ago. I'll say at the latest. So maybe like the early, not the early 2000s, I'll say about 2010s, 2011, 2012. So I could definitely see them correlating with one another. But Linda Lovelace, had no clue who she is. And then Chubby Checker, that's a different name. A different name. I never heard of that name before. But yeah, I guess they were all there together. It would have been interesting to get their perspective and what they had to say about it. But I don't know if they're still alive today. But it would have been interesting hearing their side of the story. Because Alice said something different. Liza, she had a different part to say. So they both had different things to say. But it was kind of similar in its own way. But anyway, y'all, I enjoyed this video. If you guys want to send me anything else to react to, please comment. And if you guys enjoyed this reaction, please like my video. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Because it's your boy, KeeSeeY and Polly gang. Yo, we out.